Welcome back to the channel. This week we are taking a look at the 2026 Lexus NX 350h. So this is, I think, the #2 best-selling SUV from Lexus. I have quite a bit of seat time. I think I drove a 2021 Lexus NX or NH, one of them. I think, yeah, it's the NX 350h. I drove it in 2021 all the way to New York, and it was so much fun. I really enjoy this truck. It's kind of like underrated. It's not changed a lot over the years, and that's probably for the best. And I mean, I've got it now in the F Sport 3. I think when I drove it back in 2021 or 2020, I had the F Sport 1. So I've got even more features, but the same look. It's got a blue exterior, a red interior, and it just looks really good. I just feel like not enough praise is sung about this SUV. It is so solid. Having like actually owned and lived with one for a significant amount of time, this feels like coming home to me. You know, it's not a bias per se, but it definitely, there is a soft spot for it. I do really, really like this vehicle, and I understand why it's the #2 best-selling thing. Look at this trunk space. It is, you've got a ton of it. I've always liked this. We've always got a ton of trunk space. Doesn't really compromise that rear room. Got this little privacy screen that's, you know, easy enough to remove. It's on the strings there. Got a cargo net. You know, it's just nice. The F Sport badge right here. It's just really nice. This is one of the nicest, well, one of the nicest, I guess, more or less affordable products that Lexus makes. You also got like fake door handles this time, which is not something I'm used to, but it looks really cool. And look, the folks at Lexus were really nice to include this for us. They have some new stuff for 2026. So let me film this here for you and you get a good peek of the interior. But check this out. So for 2026, they have the new F Sport 2 and F Sport 3 grades on the NX 350h, which is pretty cool. Then they have the new Luxury and F Sport 2 grades on the NX 450 Plus. The NX 250 is no longer available, and we have color changes for the NX family. And then you can see they also say that the key factors are the NX is available in 4 powertrains. You get a gas, self-charging hybrid, and plug-in hybrid. This is the self-charging hybrid that we have. The NX is the second best-selling Lexus vehicle in Canada. Very, very cool feature there. The NX is the second Lexus vehicle after the RX to be built at Toyota Motor Manufacturing Canada. So this is built here in Canada, where I am from, which is very, very cool. I'm gonna pop that back in there. We'll use it a little bit later. But yeah, I really like this vehicle. This NX 350h is just clean. I love driving it so much. It's one of my favorite SUVs on the market to drive, and I'm so glad to spend a week with it and really take you through it this time, because back in 2020, it was somebody's personal car that I just had the privilege of driving. This time, well, it's my press car, and I have the privilege of driving it once again. But this time I'm actually filming. Last time I wasn't. So we're gonna film everything. I'm gonna show you everything. I'm gonna take you through what it's like to live a week with this vehicle. This is not the official review. There will be one on the channel. This is just what it's like to discover the vehicle in real time with me as I go through it in my week here. So without further ado, let's get behind the wheel. Alrighty, so let's get out onto the road here with our NX 350h. Yeah, so like I said in the intro, this Lexus just feels like home to me because I, happen to know somebody that owned it for a long time. I happen to live with that person as well. And so regularly I would ask for the Lexus keys, and she was nice enough to give them to me, and I would just drive around in that thing, do the errands, And also, me and my wife took that vehicle all the way down to New York, so we did quite a bit of a road trip in it, and it was just so solid. And exactly how I remember it being solid, this is exactly the case. This one just has more features. Obviously, we don't have the trackpad from the last time that I drove it. Now we got this big screen in here, and visibility's obviously improved a little bit because I got a digital rear view camera. So I'm getting to experience, one of my favorite SUVs I've driven, and really the only one I've really had a lot of experience owning, in like its truest form, in like the top of the top, and it is just so much fun. And this time it's also a hybrid, which makes it even better. I wish it was a hybrid when we had it, because I remember it was pretty expensive on gas, I will say that. But man, this thing is just quiet, smooth, comfortable, and you know what, kind of fast. Like, it doesn't have a crazy horsepower and torque number. It definitely looks faster than it is, but it still is quite fast. I even have a Sport Plus mode, and I think I can bang the transmission down into Sport as well. So let's just see what it's got. Let's give it some rips. Yeah, like it's not too dramatic. It's not crazy, but It moves. I mean, it feels better in like the lower torque. So like when you're probably from a stop, it delivers its power a little quicker. But still, I mean, it's doesn't sound too bad. There's a lot of more engine noise than exhaust noise. But then again, now it's more of like a hybrid. I mean, when I drove it back then, it was like, wow, this SUV is like super performative. But honestly, I knew nothing. I really didn't know what was truly out there. I hadn't experienced any of it. Now I've driven a bunch of other cars, and I can say that like, while it's not fast, it's extremely comfortable, and it just gets the job done so well. I'm so comfortable in these seats. I've basically been driving in this vehicle all day today, so and I'm still not even done my errands. It's been a day. It has been a day, and I've got more errands to do. But on the way to those errands, I'm going to pick up the camera and film a little bit of the driving for you guys. I got paddle shifters and stuff here too, and it's just really fun to drive around in this thing. Just an absolute beast with the Aaron runs, and the sound system's not too bad. It's some sound system I've never heard before. Mark Levinson, shout out that guy. All right, cool. Sounds pretty good. I mean, it's decent. Nothing to, it's hard to complain about that. It's a sound system. I like to blast my music. I think it has good ambient lighting, although I can't see it just yet. I'm gonna have to wait for later tonight. Maybe take it out for a little rip around the town. But yeah, this thing is seriously good. Like, I thoroughly enjoy my time with this thing. Yeah, so if I put it in the lower gears like that, it doesn't sound like it enjoys doing it by any means. And I'm using the paddle shifter, so it kind of makes it a little faster. But yeah, like I could go downshift, like feel the engine brake a bit. The paddle shift is quite quick. Yeah, it's really quite quick. I like that. Not something I'm going to use though. Like usually, I'm just going to pull it into drive and let it go, just like that. But yeah, it's exactly how I remember this vehicle. But driving it back in 20, there's an old video. Look up the NX. Just look up Lexus NX on my channel, and you should be able to find it. Like, the camera quality's terrible. I didn't really know what I was doing then, but I love that vehicle, and I think you could tell then, because I really wanted to do a review on it. I still love it to this day. I still think it's really cool. I do think it's kind of underrated. I really don't see too many people talking about it. It is expensive. I mean, that's just a given. It really is expensive at the top end. And I think that's why you don't see too many of the newer ones out. I do see a lot of the ones that I used to drive out in the open wild, but not too many of these, because obviously, not a lot of people have money anymore. Gas prices have gone up. Pretty much everything has gone up. So it's tough to justify, a big vehicle purchase like this one. But man, am I glad to be back in it. So, like I said in the beginning, I'm going to take you through the week. We're going to discover a few things. We're going to look over the car, and we're going to show you all the ins and outs and the little bits. If you want the detailed facts and everything, like the little nitty-gritty stuff that we get into during the review, where I show you like exterior everything, interior everything, go look at the main review. This is just kind of me vlogging my life as I drive in the vehicle. I try to pick up the camera once a day, every day, and show you something cool about the vehicles that I get to drive, because I think my situation is quite unique. I don't actually own a vehicle. I change press cars every week, and it's kind of cool to give people a little glimpse into that life and just kind of what it's like to actually pick it up, and now I'm driving in it and kind of figuring it out. And that's it. So I will pick it back up a little later. All right, back outside, 2026 Lexus NX 350. Man, I've just really been enjoying my time this week with this guy. I mean, the blue color, I've already had like a bunch of compliments on it. People have come up to me in parking lots and said that's a really nice color for that car. People really do enjoy the looks of this vehicle. It looks really, really good. And I have to agree, it is one of the probably better colors that you can option here on the Lexus NX 350h. It just, the taillights look good, the wheels look good, and I mean, it doesn't really show the dirt that much because it's still quite dirty, but on camera it actually looks really good. So it's actually making my life here as a car reviewer really, really easy, because I'm not like spending all my time and energy actually cleaning it. I'm just spending it filming it and talking about it in front of you guys. So really, really good. But yeah, it's just such a solid package. Then you got the red interior that mixes up in there, and man, they have done a good job with this thing. I really, really like it. But I really want to know what you think. Like, this is a hybrid version. Do you like this color, or have you seen it in other specs that you're like, man, the blue is nice, but maybe the black or something else is a lot nicer? Let me know in the comments what you think. All right, so sitting inside of the Lexus NX 350h. Yes, sir. Look at this interior. Look, so when I last drove this thing, right, I had the way it was laid out was you had like a relatively smaller screen here, and then below it you had HVAC controls and stuff like that, and then you also had the trackpad to control that screen up there because it wasn't an actual touch screen. And so now they've kind of refined the whole business, almost too much, I will say, but you know what? This is still a good looking interior. This is still extremely functional. So look, they removed the trackpad in one area and then kind of put it back in the other. So let me tell you about that here. So check this out. So the way to change music and sound and stuff like that is, well, not sound because those are actually physical buttons here, but the way that you want to skip tracks or, if you want to change the mode for your audio, that is all through this interesting button right here. So it's like a one button, and then, depending on where you push it or where it shows your finger is at on the screen here, that's how you know what you're doing. And it's the same thing for, the cruise control stuff or, the display setting stuff. It's the exact same thing. So I'm just kind of moving along like a very smaller trackpad, but still a trackpad nonetheless. So some of you will love that. Some of you will hate. Honestly, I don't feel like it's intuitive, but I'll take this minimal amount of trackpaddiness over the full one that I'm used to when I'm driving in one of these Lexuses. So really good news there that they've kind of refined things. I do like this digital gauge cluster though, really nice. It kind of will change based off the sport mode. So you've got Sport Plus, Sport, and then on the other side we also have an Eco and Normal and a custom mode as well. So you can see it'll kind of switch a little bit there as you go around. 3 seats of memory seat settings, standard door controls. Check out these door handles too. You got to push to open it. Very interesting. Left-hand side, we have the gas button and the tailgate button, as well as the odometer trip and the brightness, which of course is all the way up. We do have a little bit of ambient lighting here. You can't really see it too well in the daytime, but it is there. Paddle shifters, very cool. Don't use them too much, but they are there. Nice F Sport badge there. Steering wheel overall is big enough, right, for anything, and I do like it. No complaints there in terms of just the steering that you get out of it. It's completely fine. Infotainment display, pretty much all digital, so I don't really have any physical buttons for HVAC. I've got these knobs, and then for the defrost front and back, I have buttons for that. It's pretty much it when it comes to HVAC, but so all the climate controls are here. Heated and ventilated for the passenger and the driver. Obviously heated steering, you can put those things on auto, so the car just kind of does it for you, which is always nice. And then you have some climate functions here where you can do the S-Flow, so it will direct air only to occupied seats, Eco, and then you also have the de-icer, and then we have a bunch of other controls in here as well. Other than that, you have like some vehicle information you can go through. You can like do some seat controls if you need. Driving assist, you can turn them all off, all on, whatever you want to do. You can see the energy flow. So right now the engine is charging the hybrid battery. You can see what's going on if you want. I've also got voice controls, which I will turn off because I don't really want that. And there's not a lot of settings to go through. Like most Toyotas, there really isn't much that they're hiding from you, right? There's not much to mess around with, and that's kind of good. It's just very simple. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, of course, built-in navigation, of course, so all that good stuff is there. You have this button over here, which is your automatic kind of parking. Obviously, I'm parked, so it's not going to do that now, but I also have a view button. This, you can click it while in motion, and it'll give you like the top-down 360, or when you're parked, it will just kind of do this and rotate, which is pretty interesting. I do have a USB-C port, a USB-C or USB-A port. This is where you're going to change your drive modes right here, the nice little dial. And then you have your wireless charging pad that can nicely move out of the way to reveal some storage, and 2 more USB-C ports. Classic shifter, nothing crazy. The one that you've seen a lot in Toyota and Lexus by this point. Both of them kind of have this kind of interesting little small shifter going on. It's very easy to understand. I got an EV mode button, brake hold, electronic parking brake, traction control off, and of course we do have the wet weather / off-road mode here that we can engage. My biggest complaint about this whole center console, or probably the whole interior, is, well, the fact that we don't have that much buttons, and the second is that, look at this. This is piano black. This is already getting scratched up. This is already hard to keep clean. They need to change this, like make it this color or something, or make it like a less piano. Just don't use piano black anymore, Lexus. It doesn't work. And for a luxury item, you don't want it to get scratched up so easily. And this, I mean, it's just going to go. I say give it a month and it's going to look pretty bad. Especially if you're dragging things across, if you're really not being careful, which sometimes you're not, right? Not everybody's a detail freak, so it's going to happen, and you don't really want that to happen. So there's that. And then we'll move on to the seats, though. Check that out. F Sport right in the headrest. I like that. These seats are really, really comfortable. They hold you really nice, very bolstered, very, very cushioned as well. I do like that. Nice little area here for the feet of your passenger, which isn't affected by my rear-facing car seat. Not too bad. You got enough room back there too. I do fit back behind my driver profile. I'm 5'11" for reference. Plenty of headroom, plenty of legroom. No complaints there. I do have a digital rear view camera as well, so that's also really nice. So you know what? Overall, I really just enjoy this interior. Like, you know, there's little things that maybe aren't so good, but for the overall majority, it's a very functional interior, and I love it, and it's comfortable, and it feels normal to me. It feels natural, and that's super important. And this is just a really good SUV, and you can see why they really haven't changed too much, other than, you know, obviously modernizing it with a big screen and, you know, digital gauge cluster. But really, other than that, it's super comfortable and like I remember it, which is really good news. But of course, I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments, and I'll pick it back up later. All right, so let's get back out on the road. Midway through the week now with the Lexus NX 350h, and I am still in love with this vehicle. Like, it's not fast, it's like not really loud, but like it's really comfortable, really smooth, quiet on the road. It's got a ton of space, or like at least enough space for where like I'm really happy about it. You know, I just really like it, right? It just sucks that it's raining. It would be nice to drive this thing in some nice weather and maybe really feel the tires hook up, you know, in the sport modes and stuff, because, you know, it's raining right now, so I mean, I'm not getting optimal grip at all. But I love the fact that it has a Sport Plus mode in it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it kind of moves. Like I don't even have to put the pedal down all the way. And I love vehicles like this, you know, like ones that are sort of fast, like fast enough, right, for like any like road. You know, you can still have a little bit of fun. Like, it's not completely dead acceleration, you know, but it's also not the selling point of the vehicle at all. I think it's just, it makes so much sense why it's the number 2 selling vehicle, best selling vehicle here in Canada for Lexus. It just makes sense. Like, I don't know, you know, anything else to say. Like, it's so hard to complain about it. Like, you know, there's a little few things in the interior. It's like this piano black doesn't need to be here. You know, I don't love the fact there's no HVAC controls, but honestly, like, I'd let it slide. And if I had the budget for one of these things, even in the lower trims, like I've got the F Sport 3, I'm pretty sure I have it in the best configuration you can get it in, but even in the lower trims, like, it's still such a solid platform. The NX platform in general, I think, is very, very good. You know, there's a reason why you see a lot of them on the road, or at least I do. Maybe not the new ones, because they're quite expensive, but a lot of the older generations, the ones that I used to drive, the 2021s, 22s, those ones are very much on the road still, like a lot. There's so many. I saw like 2 of them on the way home here. So, yeah, like, it just makes sense. It is just such a good car. Like, and it's gotten better. It has gotten better in terms of, I think, just the way it drives. Again, though, I do have the upgraded version of it. You know, I've got the best foot forward from Lexus. So, you know, take that as you will. And, you know, there is an amount of like soft spot for it, because I spent so much time in an older version of it, and I really liked it. But I liked it because it was a good car, not because I owned it. I owned it because it was a good car, or my family members owned it, not because, like, oh, we have an affiliation to Lexus. It was a really good SUV, and when they were doing their test drives, they were like, oh man, the Lexus NX just stood out. The NX platform just stood out, and it absolutely will. And, you know, that makes a lot of sense, because Lexus have kind of slowly upgraded it, but they haven't really made any drastic redesigns, you know, for 2026. They really don't need to. You know, it's just such a solid performer, and I hope it stays, you know, like this. Or maybe they add some HVAC controls, and then that's fine. But yeah, this could stay like this forever. And, you know, man, like, if I'm ever in a need for a vehicle, I honestly forgot that the NX existed, and then it came up on the press suite, and I was like, oh my goodness. I remember that car from a while ago. It was so good, but when you drive so many cars, you tend to forget them sometimes. Even the ones I own, I often forget my Elantra sometimes. Like, oh yeah, I own that thing. You know, like, you kind of get goldfish memory, because you're constantly into the next one. But when this came up on the fleet, I was like, oh my goodness, they are still doing it. Okay, let's get into this thing. And it's just as good, if not even better than I remember it. I love this thing. I love it. It's really, really solid. Expensive, yes, but I think you're getting your money's worth here. I think you still do get sort of the reliability from that Toyota. I never remember having any problems with the previous Lexus NX that I drove. It was, you know, we owned it for like a couple years, and there was never any huge issues. I don't think we had any. I don't think it was in the garage at all, ever, for anything other than like physical damage. I think a brick fell off of like a semi truck and flew into the side of the window, and, you know, that obviously did some damage. But like, mechanical wise, nothing, only cosmetic, which, you know, obviously you can't always control the cosmetic damages to a vehicle. So really, really good. Like, this is one of the times, the rare times, where I have an extended seat time in a platform and I can speak to it. And yeah, I don't remember it being in the garage at all. So that kind of speaks to the reliability, and I still think that it's probably decent, but there is a lot of tech, so that could hurt it a little bit in the reliability department. But man, overall, I'm just happy. But I want to know what you think. What do you think so far? You know, if you're an owner and you're watching this thing, maybe you're thinking of upgrading, like, let me know how the older generations of the Lexus NX platform of any kind, can be like the 250 I think they have, or the 300, whatever it is. Whatever Lexus you own, let me know reliability-wise. Has it been good or not? Let me know in the comments, and I'll pick it back up later. All right, welcome back outside. We've got the engine open, and I'm just shooting some B-roll, so might as well take a good little opportunity to show you what's under the hood. So you can see there's some hybrid stuff going on in here, because this is a hybrid system. Not a plug-in hybrid, but a hybrid, so pretty decent. You got the nice engine cover with the Lexus logo. I always like when manufacturers do that. It's raining, so this is going to be pretty quick. Now, I think this has closer to the 300, maybe something like 240, something like that, horsepower. I'll put the exact numbers out on screen. Again, this is not the official review. If you want the exact numbers right off the bat, go check that out. But they will be on screen, and the numbers you see are absolutely correct. But I do like the way that this engine is presented. It's a decent engine, right? It doesn't have to be fast or, you know, overly powerful. It just has to be smooth and comfortable, and the hybrid does a pretty decent job at making all that happen. So let me know what you think of, you know, the way this engine is built, how it rides if you do own one. And yeah, I'm gonna get out of the rain here because it's currently still raining here where I'm from. I think this entire review is going to be filmed in the rain. All right, so that's about going to do it for... All right, so the last little walk around of the Lexus NX 350h. Finally, the sun has come out. I feel like I've been filming in darkness this entire week. So finally I get to show it to you in the sun. You know, the rain is kind of good at doing a decent job at power washing this thing for me, but man, this thing has just been fun to drive around. It is, like, you know, obviously one of Lexus' top 2 selling vehicles, or it's in the top 2 of the most selling vehicles of Lexus, I think, for 25, probably for 26 as well, and for good reason. These things just take care of business. They look good while doing it. They're extreme pieces of luxury, and you get the reliability on top of it. It's hard to say no, and this thing is sipping fuel. I mean, I have still like half a tank left, and I've been driving it, you know, as much as I drive any other press car that I get. So really, really cool, you know? Like, I try to be responsible and not, you know, overdo it with these press cars. I don't like putting like thousands of kilometers. It's just irresponsible, and it doesn't need to happen. And so that way more people get to see these cars. Not every journalist is like that, but I try to do that. And yeah, I have put quite a bit more than I usually do on this one, not an excessive amount, but it's been sipping fuel. It's just been sipping fuel, and it's idling a lot. Like right now, it's gonna idle for a while. I got a couple more things to film, and yeah, so last little walk around here. Love the blue paint, love the blacked out rims. I'm just in love with this vehicle. I just like it. It's one of the best vehicles I've driven so far here in 2026, and it's setting the bar high for the rest of them. I mean, I might get into one, you know, in a few weeks here that's not Lexus, that has in the same platform or in the same segment, and I don't think I'll like it as much. Lexus has done an excellent job with this SUV, and it's super hard to complain about. But of course, and as always, want to know what you think about the Lexus NX 350h. Do you like it? Do you hate it? And what did I miss, if anything? If you have any specific questions for me regarding this Lexus, I could let you know. I did spend a week with it. And yeah, if you want to see more videos just like this one on the channel, make sure you like, subscribe. I'll see you the next week. See you next car. Take care.